Today I'm going to talk with you about 7 ways that can reduce the chance of you having a nightmare. It's Chapman. I'm the creator of the Creative Dream Interpretation System. All right, now number 3. Now we're getting to your mind. It's a really good idea to find out what your nightmares are about, because you might be surprised. For example, a very terrifying dream about the end of the world. Well, the end of the world usually means only that the world is ending as you know it. Take a look at my video. The link is right up here in the right-hand corner on end of the world dreams, so that you can learn more about them. Or what about dreams in which you find your body dead? Well, there's a link right there for another one of my videos about finding your body dead. That also is not as scary as the dream seems. It just means the old you's dead and the new you's born. So when you have these nightmares, look them up and see what they really mean, because they might not be as terrifying as the dream actually seems when you're having it. All right, now, number 4. Often you have nightmares at a time of great crisis, when you're going through great changes, either of a global nature or of a personal nature. And so this is just, remember this, something to remember in your mind. This too will end. I have another video and it's about dying dreams, link up there. In it, I talk about my grandmother telling me when I was very young about the great pandemic of 1918. Well, when she was telling me that, it was years after 1918. I wasn't alive in 1918. My grandmother was alive years later. In fact, she lived 76 years after the pandemic. So, whatever you're going through, just remind yourself, this will end. Now, number 5, and I don't think you're going to like this one. See this? Your cell phone, your beloved phone. You adore it, you love it, you can't live without it. Put it there. Leave it there, and then go to sleep. Because if you take a look at my video on the 5 most common nightmares, link up there, you'll see that the meaning for, I think, all 5 of them, or 4 out of 5, is that you feel powerless and your life is out of control, which is very lined up with when you're going through a crisis of some sort, like, a hurricane's coming, a tsunami, a pandemic, whatever the heck you're in the middle of. The thing is, when you've got this little sweetheart right there beside you when you're sleeping, you are giving over control of yourself to the phone. So that is a symbolic activity that says, I do have control over my life. And I think it'll help. Unless you've got someone in the hospital and you're waiting to hear that they're okay, or just to hear about their progress. So number 6. Now, there's something in dream work called inducing a dream. Now, when you induce a dream, you ask a question or make a statement just before you go to bed, with the idea that you're keying your subconscious to give you answers or give you a dream about what you have written down or thought about before you went to bed. So, the same way. Now, if the last thing you see, you're laying in bed, you've got your TV up, or your phone or whatever, and the last thing you see is an image like this, do you really expect you're going to have a night without nightmares? Wouldn't it be better to have an image like this one? Okay, so maybe you don't like to read Regency romances or watch soupy romance movies. Well, find something else to watch that isn't about this terrible stuff that's going on right now. For example, if you like sports, well, I grew up with hockey. So I could always look up YouTube videos about the great Rocket Richard, or I could play my Wayne Gretzky DVD. In other words, give yourself a buffer between whatever's going on that's so scary and going to sleep. And therefore, you will induce dreaming not in reaction to the really scary stuff, but in reaction to something you love. I mean, you don't have to do any of these things I suggested. You could play cards, you can work a jigsaw puzzle, you can cook. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do instead of focusing on the scariest thing going on right now. Give yourself a break. All right, number 7, and this is something I do every night. Once you get into bed, turn the lights out. The last thing you do is list 5 things you're grateful for. For example, today I'm going to be grateful that I did this video. But whatever it is in your life, you don't have to list all 359,000 things you're grateful for, my mother, my father, no. Only 5. Keep it to 5. Keep it manageable. And I find I'm often asleep after number 2. So it's Carol Ann Chapman of Creative Dream Interpretation. And I'm wishing you happy dreaming. Please remember to subscribe for next week's video. And also like and comment.